Hello everyone, welcome to Super Story Time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's story. I've worked a lot of strange jobs over the years. Construction, delivery driving, warehouse work. But nothing has ever come close to what happened during the 6 months I worked the night shift at a 24-hour grocery store. Even now, I avoid that place whenever I drive through town. This happened 3 years ago, just outside Columbus, Ohio. I was 26 and desperately needed money. The store paid an extra $3 an hour for overnight employees. That was enough to convince me. The shift started at 11 p.m. and ended at 7 a.m. Most nights were boring. I'd stock shelves, clean spills, help the occasional customer. After 2 a.m., the store was usually almost empty. Sometimes I'd go 30 minutes without seeing anyone. There were only 4 of us working overnight. Me, Sarah, the cashier, Luis, who stocked the frozen food section, and Frank, the night manager. Frank had worked there for almost 15 years. On my first night, he walked me through the building. When we reached the back hallway leading to the employee break room, he stopped. "There are 3 rules for the night shift," he said. I laughed. "What kind of rules?" He didn't smile. "First, if someone asks to buy something after we've announced the store is closed for cleaning, tell them to come back in the morning. Second, if you hear someone calling your name from one of the closed aisles, don't answer until you actually see who's talking." I waited for him to laugh. He didn't. "And the third? If you ever see the same customer twice in one night," he looked me straight in the eyes, "come find me immediately." I assumed it was just another way of scaring the new employee. Every workplace has people like that. So I ignored it. For the first few weeks, nothing strange happened. The nights blurred together. Stock shelves, sweep floors, help customers, go home. Then one Tuesday, everything changed. At around 1:40 a.m., an older man walked into the store. Gray jacket, baseball cap, shopping basket in one hand. He smiled politely as he passed me. "Evening." "Evening," I replied. He spent about 20 minutes walking through the aisles. Nothing unusual. Eventually, he bought a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, and a newspaper. Sarah rang him up. I watched him walk through the automatic doors and disappear into the parking lot. 10 minutes later, I saw him again. Same jacket, same basket, same newspaper, standing in aisle 7. I frowned. Maybe he'd forgotten something. I walked over. "Sir, didn't you already check out?" He looked confused. "No, I just got here." For a second, I wondered if I had mistaken him for someone else. Then I looked into his basket. Bread, milk, newspaper, exactly the same items. I didn't know why. But Frank's third rule suddenly came back to me. I found him in the storage room. That older guy. He already left once. Frank's expression changed instantly. "Where is he now?" "Aisle 7. Frank didn't say another word. He walked straight toward the sales floor. When we reached the aisle, it was empty. The customer was gone. Frank looked toward the front registers. "Did he check out?" Sarah shook her head. "I haven't seen anyone." Frank immediately locked the front entrance. It was only 2:15 a.m. "We're closing early," he said. Luis looked confused. "But we've still got customers." "No," Frank replied quietly. "We don't." I looked around. There were at least 6 people walking through the store. A young couple near the drinks, a woman pushing a shopping cart, someone in a hoodie looking at cereal. Frank noticed me staring. "Don't look at them." "What?" "They aren't shopping." A chill ran down my spine. I laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" Instead of answering, Frank pointed toward the security office. "Come with me." Inside, he pulled up the live camera feeds. Camera 1 showed the front entrance. Empty. Camera 2 showed the produce section. Empty. Camera 3. Empty. Every single camera showed an empty store. No customers, no shopping carts, nothing. I slowly looked back through the office window toward the sales floor. I could still see people walking around outside, or at least, I thought I could. I looked back at the security monitors. Every aisle was empty. No customers, no movement, just bright lights and fully stocked shelves. Yet through the office window, I could still see them. The young couple, the woman with the cart, the man in the hoodie. They were all exactly where I'd seen them before. My mouth went dry. Frank. They're right there. He didn't even look. I know. Then why aren't they on the cameras? Before he could answer, Sarah burst into the office. Someone's at register 2. Frank closed his eyes. Did they put anything on the belt? She nodded. A loaf of bread, milk, a newspaper. My stomach dropped. The old man. Frank grabbed the store radio. Luis, lock the warehouse door. Don't let anyone into the back. A second later, Luis answered. I'm already back here. His voice sounded shaky. I think someone's following me. The radio filled with static, then silence. Frank sprinted toward the warehouse. I followed. When we reached the back room, Luis was standing alone between rows of pallets. What happened? Frank asked. I kept hearing footsteps behind me. But every time I turned around, nobody was there. Then we all heard it. A shopping cart, slowly rolling across the sales floor. No one was pushing it. The sound echoed through the entire store. Metal wheels squeaking, getting closer. Then it stopped. Frank whispered, "Stay here." He walked toward the swinging warehouse doors, carefully pushed one open, and looked outside. No one. The shopping cart stood in the middle of the main aisle, perfectly still. Frank stepped toward it. That's when the store speakers turned on by themselves. A calm female voice echoed through the building. Attention shoppers, the store is now closed. There was a pause, then another announcement. Customers remaining inside will stay until morning. The lights flickered once, twice. When they came back, the store wasn't empty anymore. Every aisle was filled with people, dozens of them, standing perfectly still, not shopping, not talking, just staring. Every single one of them was facing Frank. He slowly backed away. Don't make eye contact. Nobody moved. Then one of them smiled. Another followed. Then another. Within seconds, every person in the store was smiling. The exact same smile, too wide, too still. Frank quietly whispered, "Warehouse." Now, the four of us ran. The warehouse doors slammed shut behind us. Something hit them almost immediately. Once, twice, then dozens of impacts, like people throwing themselves against the metal. Sarah started crying. Luis grabbed a pipe from the maintenance shelf. Frank locked every door. For nearly 20 minutes, we listened. The banging never stopped. Then, it suddenly went silent. Completely silent. Frank looked at me. "Stay here." He opened the warehouse door just enough to peek outside. Nothing. The sales floor was empty again. No customers, no carts, no sounds. At exactly 7:02 a.m., the day manager unlocked the front entrance. He found all four of us sitting on the warehouse floor. None of us had slept. We told him everything. He reviewed the security footage, hours of video. There was only one problem. The recordings showed nothing. No mysterious customers, no shopping cart, no smiling crowd. Only 4 employees running around an empty grocery store for nearly 5 hours. The police questioned us separately. Drug tests came back negative. Carbon monoxide levels were normal. The official report blamed stress and exhaustion. Frank quit that same day. So did Sarah. Luis never came back after his vacation. I stayed 1 more week, mostly because I needed the paycheck. On my final night, I cleaned out my locker. As I walked toward the exit, I noticed the employee bulletin board. Someone had pinned up an old newspaper article. The headline read, "Fire kills 27 during overnight shift at local grocery store." The address matched the building I had been working in. The article was dated. I asked the day manager about it. He looked confused. "We've never had a fire here." I pointed at the newspaper. It was gone. The bulletin board was empty. I left without saying another word. A month later, curiosity got the better of me. I searched the town archives. I never found any record of the fire. No newspaper, no accident, nothing. It's as if the article had never existed. Sometimes I wonder if we imagined everything. Then I remember one detail the cameras couldn't explain. That night, the old man bought a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, and a newspaper. The next morning, when the police searched the store, they found those exact 3 items sitting on register 2. There was no receipt, no fingerprints, and according to the security footage, no one had ever placed them there. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to subscribe to Super Story Time for more terrifying stories every week. And remember, not every customer leaves when the store closes.